Hey New World, it's your girl Self Carrie here, your empowerment astrologer. I'm here with a brand spanking new video for you, helping you use self-care and everyday astrology to help you heal your traumas, to help you reach your goals, to help you accept some things, because that's also a big part of having a happy life, and also to help you start living the life you were born to live. Astrology has helped me do that, and I know that astrology with self-care tips can help you do that too. Now this video is, and I got some notes over here. I got lots of notes here because this video is a big one for this month. This video is all about the new moon in Cancer coming in on July 9th. And if you've been watching my Instagram, I talked a little bit about what the new moon in Cancer is about. This video is about manifestation tips to help you create with the new moon in Cancer. But it's about getting specific. A lot of people do rituals around the new moons, around the full moons, okay? And the thing is that if you look on your astrology chart and you can see where your specific moon energy is placed, what type of moon you have, the area it's placed, how much the moon energy shows up in your life, you can cater and personalize your new moon rituals to your specific needs, your specific goals, your specific intentions. And so, I got a lot of Virgo in my chart, so I'm always trying to be practical with my woo-woo. And so this video is all about how you can actually strategize your new moon rituals to be very specific to yourself in your chart. All right, so here we go. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, please support this channel and help me create more content like this. Please go ahead and hit that like button. Please hit the alert button, the little bell, so that you can be alerted anytime I upload new content. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you'll know every time I have a new video. Please share this video with your friends and family. I strongly believe that astrology has the power to help people heal their psychological wounds and your family wounds and their societal wounds. All that stuff, okay? So if you think this is helpful for you, it's absolutely going to be helpful to your friends and family. So make sure that you share this video with people you think could really use that energy. I also do weekly transit videos on Instagram, so you can also find me there if you want to find out what's going on with the astrological transits every week, and go join me on there. All right, so the new moon in Cancer comes in on July 9th, which just happens to be today. In fact, I was already getting all of my stuff together for my new moon in Cancer ritual, because I'm a moon in Cancer, which means this is a big one for me. So when we talk about new moons, for the person who's doesn't really understand or know all about astrology, when we talk about a new moon coming in, new moons are basically opportunities to set intentions for whatever it is that you want to manifest for the future. I'm just looking at my notes over here. New moons are intention setters, right? And if you want to talk super woo-woo about it, new moon rituals are spell casting, because that's all a spell is. Let's demystify this stuff, make it transparent. When we're talking about spells and we're talking about Hogwarts and all that stuff, what we're really just talking about is an intention. Like Leviosa is just the intention to illuminate something, and so it's belief, also with the inner magic, which that you bring being a human being. Also, when you start to add elements of like the earth, water, air, fire, all the elements of the zodiac, you're kind of creating this little cauldron of belief, basically. And you put it together and create a massive intention, which is basically just a thought form. And thought forms are real, all right? So that's that whole saying, like, what you can see can be. If you can see it, it can be. It just takes your intention, okay? So that's all an intention is, that's all a spell really is, and that's all any of these new moon rituals are, okay? So what do you want to set your intention for? Every month we get a new moon in some certain sign, and that sign tells us the kind of the energy that we have to work with. Like the universe doesn't just say, here's all that you can use. The universe is actually quite mathematical. It says, this is the time for you to use this. It's like we're cooking, we're making something, we're cooking. And the universe is saying, okay, you're making a cake, right? Now you put in the flower, that's, you know, maybe Taurus energy, right? And then you're about to add some milk, so that's a little Pisces energy, right? So you don't get to make the whole cake at once. You know, it might take you a whole year to get that cake because every month is a new energy and a new ingredient. But that's the way the cycles go of the world. So one of the best things to understand about astrology is it isn't throwing a bunch of things at you and telling you to create something. It's basically giving you the time and space to really enjoy the ingredient that you're adding to the pot, understand why it's there. And you're basically adding to this greater thing that you're going to create that will come later. Okay, so what is this month's new energy, new moon? This new moon is in the sign of Cancer. Now, what is Cancer energy for all you newbies, right? Cancer energy is the first water sign of the zodiac. I think this is so important to understand. Each sign of the zodiac comes at a different time for a reason. Each sign in the zodiac represents a different stage of human development. The Cancer energy is the fourth sign of the zodiac, so it's like 4 stages in. The first sign of the zodiac is Aries, which is fire energy. The second sign is Taurus, which is earth. The third sign is Gemini, which is air, okay? And the fourth sign is Cancer, which is water. With the introduction of the water element, we now have this fluidity. First we had fire, then we had earth, then we had air, and now we're like getting deep, okay? Now we're getting into fluidity, flow, okay? And that's also the energy of releasing, okay? So every sign in the zodiac, like I said, is a different age in human development. Cancer would be about age 4. Now, age 4 is when humans start to develop not only feelings, but like the understanding that other people have feelings, you know? So right before that sign would have been Gemini, and you know, Gemini is very interested in thinking and communicating. So that's the age like 3, you know, where you're just like interested in talking. You always got a conversation for your parent. You're always like, what's a carrot? Why is it a carrot? Why is it spelled carrot? How do you spell carrot? Like, you know, they're constantly doing that. Then we get that Cancer energy, and we're starting to, now the child is like, oh, maybe I should consider other people's feelings. Maybe I shouldn't ask how to spell carrot all the time, you know? And so this is where we develop empathy. This is the part of human development where we develop empathy. And that's why it's so important that we really, like, child psychology literally should be just part of education, hands down, because, man, so much is solidified in those first years of our life, first months of our life, that we end up having to go to therapy for later. You know, if we really understood how important those first years were, we would do a lot more to make sure that all children had a very safe beginning of life. We would have a lot less prisons and a lot less people to put in them if we understood child psychology a little bit more. All right, so when Cancer represents this empathic energy, this compassion, nurturing, mothering, so it's the time when we humans start to want to mother something. So, you know, if you think about it, a lot of children are on that age, want to have baby dolls. They want to have things to take care of, you know. They want to have stuffed animals and plushy things, right? And there's a desire to nurture and to also be nurtured. So this energy is really a big deal. Like, if you have new moon in Cancer, it's going to affect everybody. The new moon in Cancer is going to affect everybody in some kind of way. And later on in the video, I'm going to talk about how it specifically might be affecting you. But if you have heavy Cancer in your chart, like say you're a Cancer sun, you're a Cancer moon, like myself, you're a Cancer rising, you're a Cancer midheaven, even if you have Venus or Mars in Cancer, or any planets in your 4th house, which is the house of Cancer, you will carry these traits more than other people. If you look on your personal astrology chart and you find which house Cancer is the ruler of, that will be the area of life that you can kind of see this new moon energy show up this month, okay? Now remember, Cancer is not Pisces. Cancer is the first sign of the zodiac, the first water sign of the zodiac. Pisces is empathic energy, but it's more self-sacrificing. It's the last sign of the zodiac, so it's a little bit like more worldly, you know, like it's just seen everything. It's not so emotional as Cancer is, because Pisces is just like, I'm at the end of this road anyway. I'm ready to go anyway, so like they're already ready to leave the physical plane. So it's not like Pisces is not like Cancer. So I often get that question. So I wanted to clear that up. So with the new moon in Cancer, what you're trying to do is you want to set a goal for the way that you would like to heal your emotions this month and nurture yourself in the future. So it's the ultimate self-care energy. How do you want to heal your emotions? Have you been having some emotions lately or your entire life that you feel like, wow, I really want to change the way that I take in emotions or the way I feel emotions? And also, if you want to better understand and set intentions for how to nurture yourself in the future, if you've been trying to figure out this self-care thing, this self-love thing, and how it pertains to you and how you can actually start doing it, this is the perfect time. New moon in Cancer ritual, okay? This is a good time for people who want to review their childhood nurturing. It's a good time for people who want to reparent themselves. That's also a tag word that's very popular right now. This is a good time for setting up something that you want to grow into something bigger, like a relationship or a business or a garden, anything that you feel like you want that to start. You want to set the roots down for it to start growing into something bigger. This is also a great time to get clear about what your needs are and set an intention to fulfill them. One of the biggest deterrents to getting your needs met is that we often don't know what our needs are. We're so distracted by what society and capitalism is trying to tell us that we need. We very rarely get to go inside and say, oh, no, this is actually what I need. A lot of times we'll go inside and say, oh, we'll figure out what we need, but then we'll be like, will that make me money? Or will that help that other person over there? Things like that. And it's like, no, the new moon in Cancer is trying to help you to get very clear about what your needs are, whether or not you're a part of contributing to this system that we're in. Okay, so if you work with the sign that the new moon in Cancer energy is in, you have a greater chance of actually manifesting that, okay? Now, what do you need to create a ritual specific to the way the Cancer energy works in your chart, right? So one of the great ways to figure out how to make it specific to you is to find out where your natal moon lies in your chart. Which house does your moon lie in your chart? And to find out houses and things like that, like astrology is really accessible nowadays. So you could literally Google it. If you haven't looked up your chart already and figured out which house your moon is in or any of your planets are in, it's very easy to go to any free chart online and figure that out. Or you could literally just Google it and find out what each of these houses mean. So this video is not for that. I'm going to help you more with how you're going to use this energy in each house, okay? So find out the house that your natal moon lies in. And the house where your moon lies tells you the area of life that you seek emotional comfort, you seek emotional security. This is the area of life, sorry, I keep feeling like I have an eyelash or something on my lips. This is the area of life where you have needs and not wants. And I always want to be clear, moon energy is a need, it's not a want, it's a primal need. Just like it's a feminine energy, it's a mother energy. We need our mothers, especially humans, because we have a longer maturity time than other animals on the planet. So we need our mother, or if not our mother, that maternal energy, even if it's not just like a physical mother, we need somebody that provides us that nurturing for a long period of time so that we can trust latching on and trust being nurtured in the first place. So these are needs, not wants. Venus is a want, moon is a need, all right? So this is the area of life where you have needs, not wants. This is the wolf that you feed first, basically. And if you know what your needs are, then you can meet them. And like I always say, if you know what your needs are, then you can meet them. And that is really the key to happiness. Happiness really is just getting our needs met. It's not a bunch of other stuff that they keep telling us our happiness is. So there was this really great person on Twitter. Their name is Spiritual GPS, and they really broke it down perfectly in terms of like what moon in certain house means, all right? So I will leave a link to their Twitter below, and you can definitely go follow them. They're amazing. And then when you're doing your new moon in Cancer ritual, what you'll be able to do is visualize this area of life. Wherever house your moon resides, you can visualize that area of life and becoming more emotionally stable there. You can use totems that symbolize the area of life in your new moon and Cancer ritual. You can also call upon your angels or guides or any deities or anything that symbolizes that area of life. So this is how you can personalize it for yourself. Now I'm going to go through and tell you what it means to have which moon in each house. And I'm sorry that the light is changing. I should have done this video earlier this morning, but I was lazy. I got back from my personal trainer and I was just like, I ain't moving. So this is what you gonna get, and I hope you can still use the information. All right, so this is using the list that the Twitter person, Spiritual GPS, posted on Twitter. Okay, so if you have moon in your first house, this means you seek emotional security through the self, through the identity. The first house is the house that everybody can see your stuff, right? Like 12th house is where it's unconscious to you. Let me turn up this light a little bit, hope that helps. All right. But first house is like, I always say first house is like a store window. It's like everybody walks by and they can see what you're selling in your store. So if you have moon in your first house, you also wear your heart on your sleeve. You're not somebody who can hide your emotions. Everybody knows your business. Everybody knows what you're feeling. So you tend to be hypersensitive about what people think and feel and say about you. And so if you have moon in the first house, you definitely want to visualize your personality being a part of this new moon in Cancer. Okay, the first house is the house of Aries, and so you're definitely going to work with elements like fire, colors like yellow, things that have to do with fire. You might even want to use fire too, candles, things like that. All right, but that's where your emotional security comes from, and that's where you're going to want to set intentions to get more of it in that area of life. Now, if you have moon in the second house, moon in second house seeks their emotional security through their money and their savings. So this is when you start getting out your coins and put them on your altar and make them a part of your ritual. Cash flow is very important to people with moon in the second house. And so make some intentions about your money. Make some intentions about money flowing to you. Use some totems that have to do with that, okay? Now, moon in the third house seeks emotional security through communication, through talking, through writing, through publishing, through being an orator. And also exchanging ideas and communicating with people, right? So the third house is a Gemini house. This is an air house, so you might want to use things like have totems like wind instruments, or even, play music like flutes and things like that, or even have things like pinwheels, or what are those, wind chimes, little things like that indicate air. Books, things that have to do with publishing, all that stuff. Now, if you have moon in the fourth house moon seeks emotional security through the home environment, the nest environment. So they're usually very deeply emotionally connected to one or both of the parents. Or if you have some, hard aspects to your moon, you have some hard times with parents, all right? So this is about visualizing a really beautiful, healthy home and using water elements in your ritual. Moon in the fifth house seeks emotional security through romance, through love affairs, through their children, and also through creativity. So this is when you just get out your box of crayons and dump them on your altar. All right. Moon in fifth house is about fun and enjoyment and getting emotional security through those things. Now, moon in sixth house seeks emotional security through work and productivity, and also through the health. They tend to worry a lot. They usually have a very poor digestive system or nervous system, okay? So moon in sixth house people, this is an earth house, the sixth house. So you want to have things that are grounding, like you want to have things like minerals and things that go in the earth, or even root vegetables, things that will help you kind of calm down. Now, if you moon in the seventh house seeks emotional security through their partners, often they want a partner that mothers them too. So, any sort of things that indicate romance or a partnership, the scales, Libra energy, that's very much about balance. Those are great totems to use for your altar. The moon in eighth house, folks, whew, this is rough. All right, moon in eighth house seeks emotional security through sex, through psychological probing, through the occult. rituals, you probably already doing rituals if you, period, if you're a moon in the 8th house person. But get out your tarot, you know, get out your business, get out your stuff, okay? Because you already have it, is what I'm saying. Now, moon in the 9th house seeks emotional security through gurus, philosophy, pilgrimages. So any of those trips that you moon in 9th house people have taken, where you got little trinkets or souvenirs, get all these souvenirs and put them out on your altar. That's what you're going to want to have. Now, moon in 10th house folks, which I am one of, seek emotional security through their public image. All right, so we're very emotional about how we appear to the world. Did you see how upset I got about the light being messed up, and now my face looks greasy because I just put sunscreen on? You see? Anyway, this moon in 10th house people want others to see their charisma. It's very important that the public image is seen as of caring and nurturing. Like for me, I really want to get this information out to you guys. All right, so that's moon in the 10th house, folks. So since I brought it up, I have a couple of things here that I'm going to be using for my new moon in Cancer ritual tonight. One is one of these skull candles. Skull candles are a very big deal in terms of being able to access your ancestors or speak with your ancestors, cleanse yourself for communication with ancestors. You know, my people come from Louisiana, the South, and so this is something that I work with often, okay? Now, I also have this evil eye candle that I'm going to be working with tonight. Evil eye energy. Remember, I was talking about public image. Whenever you have your heart invested in your public image, it's really important that you have protection as well. You know, people will be watching this on YouTube and other social media platforms. Not everybody's going to like what you have to say. So it's important that you have some sort of spiritual and energetic protection so that you can handle some of the things that might come at you. Now, I also am using a piece of wood. Wood is a grounding energy. The 10th house is the house of Capricorn, which is an earth sign. So you want to use like grounding things. This little piece of wood says, money won't create success. The freedom to make it will. Moon in 10th house. All right, now, moon in 11th house seeks emotional security through their friends and their network circle. They are very nurturing towards their friends. A lot of celebrities have moon in the 11th house. A lot of celebrities that are really good to their fans. Let me say that. Let me preface it first with that. A lot of celebrities that are good to their fans have moon in the 11th house. They have a need to take care of people that are in their community or in their friendship circle. And then finally, so if you have moon in 11th house, this is an air sign. Again, use things like wind chimes, things like that. And then moon in the 12th house seeks emotional security through serving others and serving source, God, universe, spirit, whomever you believe your creator to be. They are kind of like a monk. They need to be like a monk, okay? They want less contact with others so that they can do that deep spiritual work and guide us spiritually, all right? So whichever house your moon is in is the area of life where you will feel the most emotions of this new moon in Cancer. Now, like I said before a little bit, touched on, there's also a dark side of Cancer that can come out. And if you have some hard aspects to your moon, like a square, an opposition, an in conjunction, even a conjunction, you might feel some of the darker parts of Cancer energy. Now, every sign has a dark side. So if you have some challenging aspects to your moon sign, like a square and all that business, you'll experience some of the darker parts of this. And I went into detail about this on my Instagram video that I did recently, which was the weekly transits, and I discussed the new moon in Cancer and some of the darker parts. So you want to go over there and take a look at that to get some of the ideas of how darker Cancer energy can show up in your chart. So enjoy your rituals this month, and I'm excited to see how they show up. Let me know in the comments how you did. Let me know even if you messed up, you know, because we all do, we all mess up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I love to interact. And if you are interested in this, stay tuned for more videos. I'm really excited to bring you more. And in the meantime, take care. Bye, everybody.